Hey guys, welcome to Comic Night with Z's number 21. I know we don't really say the numbers a whole lot anymore, but yeah, we're up to 21 of Volume 2. All right, almost halfway through the year, just about.
Yeah,
Almost. All right, so y'all guys know how we do it. The higher the comic, the more the least likely we are to go back and read it again. Not saying that they're bad, just like they're not our cup of tea. But in this case, our number one for tonight goes to Sleep from Mad Cave, I think. Oh, Image. All right, Image. So it's a sleeper, and as an unintended pun, but damn it, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm following through.
You always
I'm following through with it.
You never be upset with a
exactly.
pun.
Like intend your puns, you weakling.
Even if
but
it's
this
bad,
one just
you
like
stick to
it was a slip of the tongue, and it just like yes, it worked.
Mhm.
Anyway, not a whole lot happens in this comic. You get the inkling. It's basically the first 20 minutes of a slasher movie or a monster movie, where it's focused on all the characters. But whereas you have scantily clad characters in most of the movies, or promiscuous characters, or funny characters, this one has none.
Yeah.
There is nobody that is engaging. There's nobody that you're rooting for. There's nobody that you want to see more of. Honestly, it's all just kind of meh. And the title alone kind of like informs on the whole thing, which is really sad because the premise of it sounded really good.
Yes.
Possible monster movie type deal in here. Yeah, all right, cool. We want to read it. We want to see it. I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
It was kind of meh. All right. The art style was not bad for the type of story it's trying to tell. Not bad. I do like it's mostly in black and white, but every now and then there's a
splash of red.
Yeah, splash of red, maybe denoting something important later. Maybe it's just to add color to the page. I don't know. It might have been one of those things where, like in Mega Man Legends, where it's like, oh, it's missing something. Here's some lipstick. Oh, yes!
Especially because there was one part where pretty sure the dude makes out a guy's nervous system. Because, like, it's all a part of his thing.
Yeah, that was very confusing.
Yeah.
There's no explanation whatsoever about what's going on in this comic.
Nothing.
No. It's exposition, but of the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
So, at least, so far. I mean, if whenever number 2 comes in, I'll give it a read, and if it gets better, I'll let you guys know. But I'm not holding my breath on this
Especially because the tagline for this is it's on the back of the thing, but when he falls asleep, our nightmare begins.
Spooky, right?
But there is no inclination of, oh yeah, it's when he falls asleep that things like he ends up becoming the bad guy or something like that.
I mean,
you
like
can
all
piece
this stuff kind of like happens around his house, I guess. But there's not enough happening around his house. There's like one incident. Oh my God, did you hear about this? It's a small town. Of course you're gonna hear something.
And it's like
it's one of those. You got cows. You're gonna have cows outside.
You can piece it together. Like you kind of know where it's gonna head up, but there's nothing. That magic in between. It's just not there. That usually is like in the in between of any other like monster horror movie where you got the setup and then finally the action starts happening. There's no little magic in between in this one, and it was sad. It's a sad one.
Sleep, number 1 from Image Comics. 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. I would say.
I'm not going to say don't buy it, but I'm not going to tell you to run out. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
I would say, if anything, maybe if you are still interested in it, maybe wait for number 2 to come out and buy 1 and 2 at the same time.
That way you can just binge it and be entertained. Kind of like how they did with Daredevil Born Again. Like yeah, there were some lull episodes, but they were on those. They released 2 of them because they know that you had the lull, and then you had the banger. You had the lull, you had the banger. That might be what's going on here.
But because I was talking about it with Derek yesterday, this gets me upset. Because this one, number 2, is probably going to come out for this one that was kind of mad at me, but the one that was amazing, Milk Run.
Dude, it keeps on getting delayed.
I can't even get news on it.
I will show you Milk Run on my Lunar because it's coming from Mad Cave.
That one was beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
It was amazing.
Good. Yeah. All right, so
But yes.
Sleep #1 from Image Comics, 2 out of 5.
Mhm.
You know, it's meh. Moving on to our second pick of the night.
Mhm.
Whatever happened to the Crimson Justice?
Yeah.
So, first up, I gave it a very positive 3 out of 5. I'm looking forward to see where issue 2 goes. It is not for kids, first of all,
It's
not for
not.
kids.
Some hand stuff
ki-
happens.
there is some hand stuff going on. The thing is, it kind of feels like a mashup of The Boys meets Dark Knight Returns, whereas a Crimson Justice is in the role of the Dark Knight.
Mhm.
During a during an altercation with one of his, with his arch nemesis or whatever, in
Dr. Mayhem.
Dr. Mayhem, is it right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Dr. Mayhem.
He's got PhD.
Yes, he does have a PhD. So the backstory is after an altercation with Dr. Mayhem, his arch nemesis,
Mhm.
alongside his trusty sidekick, Reddy?
Ready.
Reddy, right?
Reddy.
That was weird.
Mhm.
You just, like, Crimson Justice was thought to be,
Mhm.
gone, like dead or whatever. And in this city named Empire City, woohoo, the creativity is strikes again. The Crimson Chin. Sorry, this just like
Great.
popped into my head.
That guy's got some of the greatest lore to him, especially his villains.
I know,
The
right?
bronze kneecap only
But-
got third place.
Anyway, whatever
Read a
happened to
comment on
Crimson
that.
Justice? Yeah, we should talk about that later. Whatever happened to Crimson Justice? It's taking place like in not his twilight years, but he's on an age,
Mhm.
and you don't really find out it's him until the very end of the comic.
But you could
You kinda-
tell it
you
was
can.
him. You
You
know?
can kind of tell. Apparently, he spawned some sort of movement.
Kind of like
based around-
Kick-Ass.
Kind of, yes.
Mhm.
Kind of like Kick-Ass. He inspired a cadre
Mhm.
of homegrown heroes in the city that kind of tried to follow in his footsteps, but never really lived up to the name, the legacy, or whatever. And one guy even just
Mhm.
got shot by
A lot
cops.
of them got axed.
Yep. And you kind of you can kind of guess where one of the characters
Yeah.
ended up.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like,
Yeah. The previous
Like-
mention of some handsy stuff going on.
Yeah,
Kind of
possibly.
involved.
Yeah,
Possibly the other one
possibly.
with
Uh,
Sean Penn looking person here.
Did look
It's like this
Sean
one really
Penn.
does look like
It's
Sean
weird.
Penn.
Yeah, it looks like a
Mhm.
whiter Sean Penn.
Yeah, if
But
they
yeah.
just stuck him with a bigger nose, Sean Penn.
But anyway, the artwork is great. The dialogue to me feels a little like it has too many cuss words in it. And coming from me, that's saying something because
I didn't feel like it was too many. I just felt like they
It
didn't
felt
know
like
how to use it.
it
It was like a little kid or just someone learning to cuss for the
felt
first
like
time.
yes, exactly. Like it was a 12-year-old that didn't know
Mhm.
how to use the F word,
Yeah.
and they were just like peppering it in
It was
everywhere.
Shia LaBeouf
It was Shia LaBeouf.
from iRobot.
Yes.
Stop cussing
Yes,
because you're not good at it.
Yeah, it did kind of feel like that. But it wasn't bad. It was just like they
Just
could clean
like-
this up in the second issue.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
just like that
there's-
word was not necessary at this point.
Exactly.
You could just use it somewhere else.
So yeah, it was a little weird. The writing is a little wonky. Not gonna lie, but the dang it, my mind is kind of like going off in another direction.
I know.
No,
I got my
yeah.
mind wandered to the nice guys because
The
I
nice
saw
guys.
saw that clip last night where his daughter's all like, "Dad, there's pure and stuff," and he goes, "How many times do I have to tell you? Don't say and stuff. Just say there are bad women." But that other word for bad
Wow.
women.
Wow. So yeah, whatever happened to Crimson Justice? A very positive 3 out of 5. I'm excited. I'm not really excited, but I'm like, I am
It's interesting.
hopeful
It's
for
intriguing.
issue 2.
Mhm.
I am looking forward to issue 2. I'm not outright excited for it. This is definitely not for kids. We've been talking about,
Yes.
like stuff like that, but definitely not for kids. But if you are a fan of The Boys and Dark Knight Returns,
Mhm.
I would give this one a shot. And I think it's a solid start to a new story.
Mhm.
And I'm looking forward to where issue 2 goes with
The
it.
Samaritan. That was the Sylvester
The
Stallone one.
yes.
That's
Okay.
also kind of what I got from here because there are some like, story elements as to why he disappeared that are kind of similar to it.
Mm.
So,
All right.
but yeah, good 3 out of 5.
All right, moving on to what do we got here?
Flash.
Absolute Flash. Ah, he's a miracle. Anyway,
Did you say he's American?
he's a miracle.
It kind of sounded like you said he's American. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, he was all American. Like, well, the Sam Jones one was.
Yeah,
I don't
Sam
know about
Jones.
the one with that dude from Smallville.
Quarterback of the New York Jets as well.
Was he?
Yeah.
I did not know that
You don't
one.
remember, especially since like it's the skit from Ted where he's all like, "This is the American fantasy right here. A quarterback, like quarterback is called upon to save the world." And he's all like, "Tom Brady could do that. Tom Brady could do that."
Anyway,
Yes,
moving on.
we've been talking about Ted a lot
We
these last few weeks.
have. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, Absolute Flash number 3, right? Number 3, yeah, number 3.
Yes.
Picks up pretty much exactly where issue 2 left off, where he's being hunted, where Wally, the Absolute Flash, is being hunted by this version of the Rogues, which works for the military at this point in time. They are deploying Grodd,
Yes.
and not just anybody is deploying Grodd. A named somebody is deploying Grodd,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
yes, I'm not going to tell you who it is because it is an Easter egg, or it could be a plot device used at a later date. So I'm going to leave that one
Very well could
left
be.
up to you. All right, but yes, Grodd teased at the end of Absolute,
Previous.
the previous issue, Absolute Power, Absolute, Flash number 2, is still a telepathic ape.
Okay, yeah, it is.
Yeah, specifically. Still a telepathic chimp in this one, chimpanzee. He kind of looks like Beast Boy a little bit with
Kind
big
of,
brain.
yeah.
But
But he's also tiny.
yeah, he's also a lot smaller, kind of like a spider monkey almost, but like a mutated one,
Parrot-sized. He wears-
almost.
He sit on the
Where he's deployed to find Wally, but he, instead of bringing Wally in, he realizes that Wally and him and Grodd, they're a lot
Same
alike. Same. And so Wally and Grodd, they form kind of like this weird friendship or partnership in the comic. It's very quick,
It is.
and that's not a
But
Flash pun.
that can happen because of the fact that when you read someone's mind,
Yeah.
you can connect it very easily.
True, but so the artwork is amazing. The plotting is very fast paced in here.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is the story is only 22 pages long,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the book is taken up by a preview of a comic that came out the week before.
Mhm.
So
Of Supergirl.
so
And we liked that comic.
Yeah.
It's just,
we gave that one a very
Mhm.
positive 3 out of 5. I'm excited for issue 2 on that
I
one.
am as well.
But this right here, just like it's too short.
Yes. It
There's
goes
not
by
enough
very
content,
quick.
and it doesn't really advance much of the plot.
Mhm.
It advances it a little. I'm not gonna lie, it does advance it a little, but it doesn't move any goalposts.
Nothing
You know what I mean?
too crazy is put out there, and then but yeah, it's just the fact that already don't like when a preview for another issue for a completely unrelated issue is included at the back of a comic. But it's even more frustrating when it's a comic that was already released previously.
Yeah,
And it's like,
bummer.
Mhm.
So I gave Absolute Flash number 3 a very a 4 out of 5. Okay, the reason it's not higher in our rankings today, and the reason it's not a 5 out of 5 is just because it is
Too
too
quick.
friggin' short.
yeah.
There is more stuff that we need to know about this version of Wally, this version of Grodd. I want to know more about this version of the Rogues because there is a line in this comic that just makes the entire thing hilarious because
Mhm.
they're all rogues except the monkey.
Mhm.
Grodd
Very
has
Aladdin-ish.
never been part of the Rogues, but the monkey went rogue.
He's got a sword, but he doesn't actually have a sword.
That would be fun. But yeah, very positive 4 out of 5 for Absolute Flash number 3.
Mhm.
I do recommend picking it up. It's too short. I want more. You know what I mean? And honestly, I don't think that that's too greedy for what we got this week.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, obviously you always want more story. It's just
For this
Like-
issue, especially, it's listed as a 28 page. It's listed as 28 pages,
what?
and I think you counted 11, right?
Yeah, I
So-
counted 11.
11 individual pages. So front and back, that makes it 22.
22.
I don't know if they're going off of, like, I'm guessing they would go off of front and back as well. Hopefully they go off of front and back as well, because
And then
I guess
well,
then, like, okay, you get 6 pages of preview, but even then, in a comic,
yeah.
that's a lot of pages to give up.
So, but yeah, 4 out of 5. Absolute Flash number 3. Definitely worth picking up. It's just I couldn't put it further on our list because I'm probably
just
not
too
going to
short.
read this one again unless it's in a
Yeah.
trade paperback.
It's too short.
Yeah, too short. All right, moving on to what is that? Zatanna.
Zatanna.
Zatanna number 4. This one has been a very solid series so
Mhm.
far. Nothing amazing, except the artwork. I will say the artwork has been
The artwork-
astounding.
Mm-hmm.
I love that artwork. It's
Magical.
Jamal Campbell, not Sophie.
Jamal.
Yeah.
Sophie. Isn't there a
Sophie Campbell is Supergirl.
Oh, yeah.
This one is Jamal Campbell, and then there's a J. Scott Campbell.
Mhm.
No relation between either one. I don't think. But anyway, Jamal Campbell's Zatanna. He's on story and art. Very positive. 3 out of 5. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We get a little bit more exposition as to what is affecting Zatanna. We get a little bit more exposition for the villains or the antagonists, whatever you want to call them. And not only that, but we get some pretty cool action pieces in here. We get a little bit more character development or character exploration, rather, between Zatanna and her new crew that she is apparently known for quite some time, except for the main guy, or
Mhm.
one guy that just ended up, unalived by the demons.
Or Adam.
Or Adam. But anyway, we get more action, we get more story, we get more teasing as to what is hindering Zatanna and on her journey to try to get her magic back.
Mhm.
So, just based on everything else, everything in this comic, huge 3 out of 5. I'm excited for this series. I can't see anything wrong with this series. Maybe that it just doesn't. It needs to be longer because I think it's only going to be like two more.
I think it being longer series wise, but also maybe like individual wise as well. Because a few times, well, my one little gripe with it, but it wasn't too much of a gripe, was I'd have to go back a few times just because I'm like, okay, how did we get here? Because one moment she's talking with the remains of Clayface,
Yeah.
which was kind of funny just because he was a little tiny little thing. And then all of a sudden she's strapped to something, and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't miss anything, right? It's
No.
just there.
So yeah,
So,
that one.
yeah.
That is.
There's a few-
It
Which
jumps
kind of-
a couple times
Mhm.
throughout the series. I
Which
understand why.
kind of works in this like little issue too, because part of like the explanation that comes with what is happening to her is like, okay, there's some mind mishaping, like mind messing with going on. So you're like, okay, it kind of makes
Mhm.
sense. I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, it does get a little bit confusing.
It does get a little jarring when you go from point A to point 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just like, whoa, wait a minute, hold up.
But yeah,
But still
like,
good.
Yeah.
Still 3 out of 5.
Mhm.
The series is still nice.
Yes. So Zatanna, number 4, 3 out of 5, action, mystery, hilarity, and everything in between. So definitely worth checking out. Moving on to
Superman Unlimited. Da, 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 da.
Superman Unlimited number 1. If you guys picked up the absolute
Mhm.
free comic book day preview, on the back, on the flip side, literally the flip side,
Yes.
was
Or the
a,
front side, depending how you picked it up.
yeah, depending. So was a preview for Superman Unlimited number
Mhm.
1. We thought it was just going to be like just a straight up little prequel, and it'll start up where it left off. No, that was
Yeah,
a
like the
5-page
first 5.
preview.
Yeah.
that was a 5-page preview of this one. So if you picked up that free comic book day one, you already saw the first 5 pages,
Mhm.
and you already know it's good.
Yeah.
You already know it's going to start off solid. What I did not care for in Superman Unlimited number 1 was that 3/4 of this book is basically his life flashing before his eyes because he thinks he's going to die. And for a Superman comic, it's kind of a bummer.
I was
But-
for it.
But I don't know, man. I wanted more.
See,
I wanted more action. I think.
See, I was for it because of the fact that, like, this is the storyline. I'm pretty sure this is like the start of the storyline of like the DC universe, the regular universe that is going to eventually cross over with the Absolute Universe, right?
Pretty
sure it's a part of it.
Oh, this one
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because like eventually, I'm pretty sure these guys are going to like be in there. Because like in Justice League Unlimited, I'm pretty sure you're getting that like tie-in with the Absolute Universe as well. You're getting some of that. So this, I enjoyed it because it's like, okay, we've seen Absolute Superman's like little origin thing.
Yeah.
This is a nice little way of putting that in there, showing you again, like, okay, this is the difference between Superman, and it's just, it might be the fact that I admit I really do like Superman, and this was a nice little like refreshment of it. So that might be what I'm like, little my biasness in there, but I just really liked it. It was a nice way of setting things up, and like
I thought it was a solid start.
Yeah.
I really did. It's just, like to me, I was like, yeah, it's kind of sad, especially when he's talking to John and he's like, I hope he can hear me. I hope he can hear me. And I'm like, but yeah, it tugs at the heartstrings a little bit. And then the tag at the end, basically like there's a time jump and shenanigans are afoot that were touched on maybe in Action Comics number 1050 because it's in the civilization, so it's not really a spoiler. The asteroid or meteor, whatever you want to call it, is a gigantic solid ball of kryptonite. And that is what, like why he's taken out of commission for so long. And I don't know, man. It was based on Action Comics 1050. The little piece at the end of here is a little like it makes 1050 almost required. Oh my gosh, I can't talk right now.
Possibly.
Almost required reading.
I did find it kind of funny though how it seems like Batman had to turn the lights off to show him.
Oh yeah, I thought that was funny.
It was it reminded me of Sky High, where he's all like, "How about we just like turn the lights off and like maybe cup your hands around your eyes?"
It reminded me of Buzz Lightyear.
But yeah, I liked it, especially with again like this is kind of like a new startup for Superman and stuff like that. And even though people do dog on it a lot, there are always those people that are like, I'm sick of origin movies and whatnot. It's like, it's nice to get a little refresh, a little rehash of classic Superman origin for the for the new people that are coming in.
This is true. Like, there are a lot of new people coming in.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Especially
like we
because
know,
of the movie.
like we know about Superman, of course. Our older fans, we know Superman's origins, but
we
the
know the
youngins
true
don't.
Superman. All the kids these days, all the children these days, all they know is Man of Steel snapping necks.
Yeah, the youngins.
They don't know the true Superman.
So this
saving kids trapped in trees and kittens from being tied to railroad tracks.
Yeah. So the little flashback, the like flashing of his life before his eyes, I really enjoyed it because it'll make a good issue, a good way to tell people like, hey, go get this one. It really lets you know who Superman is. Very touching.
It really does. It reintroduces the character to the modern audience. Yes. And you do need that every now and then.
You do need that.
You need the refresher.
Especially in a time when so many people keep saying, he's just not relatable. He's too powerful. He's too, you go to this issue, you're not only getting his origin, but you're also getting that thing of like, oh my gosh, he might be Dunsky's. He might be 86th. You hear the touchingness of his family and all that, and it's just like, So I enjoyed it. I really liked it a lot. Because of my biasness, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. But just straight not biasness, I'm saying 4 out of 5.
I give it a 3 out of 5. Very, very positive 3 out of 5. But yeah, I do recommend picking it up. Moving on to Ghostbusters Dead Man's Chest. Now, this takes place, I believe, right after Frozen Empire.
Not that Dead Man's Chest. A different Dead Man's Chest.
There is a pirate ship involved somewhere. Somewhere. We haven't seen it yet.
It's a different Dead Man's Chest. Not the one that we watched like 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
It has been a long time.
Has it been 20 years? Oh my gosh.
It's been a long time. I don't want to do the math. I'm not doing it.
Stop. You did this. Anyway, Ghostbusters: Dead Man's Chest picks up sometime after Frozen Empire, I believe. It never actually gives a specific timeline, but it seems
I'm saying so the only thing that is said time-wise is the fact that in one spot in here, one of the guys, the brother, is planning out a friend-iversary or something like that. And he said it's been like 18 months since him and that one girl met in the original movie.
Okay, so in the original movie from
the reboot, yeah.
From Afterlife to Frozen Empire,
yeah,
it was what like 8 months, something like that. So at least 10 months have passed in this one, maybe a year between the end of Frozen Empire and this one, and it picks up right where you want to see some Ghostbusters action. The family is taking out some ghosties in the some sort of art museum. And yes, chaos ensues because ghosts never really want to clean up after themselves. But what I love in here is that the voices of the characters has not changed. That's actually like really hard to do when you do an adaptation that had a movie first or even a TV show first. So keeping their voices for the characters is really cool to me, especially Phoebe Spangler. Like her dry humor, her pun game, totally on point in this one. I loved it. The artwork, not bad. Every time Gruberson spoke, all I could hear was Paul Rudd. And that's not a bad thing. I like Paul Rudd. But yeah, it's funny. It's got the mystery. And in true Ghostbusters fashion, it starts off innocently enough, trying to make friends. Yeah. And so yeah, I give this one a 4 out of 5. Ghostbusters: Dead Man's Chest #1.
I'm gonna give it a very positive 3 out of 5. Positive 3 out of 5.
That's fair.
Because it was nice. Like the humor in it is good. I've liked the 2 previous movies before this, and this one, just like he says, it keeps the feel of those movies. And I really enjoyed it. It's very nice. The I don't want to say cliffhanger of it because it's not really. I guess technically it's a cliffhanger, but the ending is just nice. It's very nice. Like
it starts off at the it starts off with Act 1 of a Ghostbusters movie. It's like it is a Ghostbusters movie. But I know a lot of people didn't like Frozen Empire. To me, it was too short.
Yeah,
that is the theme of this video today. Everything's too short. All right,
except for a guy, except for someone in the comic because he officially grew 2 inches.
Exactly. Podcast is back on his podcast.
I wish I would have grown 2 inches.
Just do what Robert Downey Jr. does.
Wear heels.
Wear the lifts.
That's all I'm saying is if I ever do get to be Nightwing, I'll wear the lifts. I'll do it exactly like RDJ. I'll wear the lifts.
But he's not that tall, is he? Is he only like
RDJ's like 5'9"?
No, not him. Nightwing.
Nightwing's 5'10".
5'10". Okay.
It's the height difference between RDJ and what Tony Stark is supposed to be is the same height difference between me and what Dick Grayson.
Tony Stark is supposed to be Hispanic.
Yeah.
They whitewashed us.
I'm supposed to. Yeah. Plus, I got ethnicity with it too. So I'm just saying. I think I can do it.
Are you going to be an affirmative action hire?
Why you got to put it that way? Making me feel like I don't deserve.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
You're making me feel like I wouldn't deserve it. It'd be like that episode it'd be like that episode of George Lopez where he's all like, "We're hiring you because of your last name, Lopez," and he's all like, "You don't even care if I can do the job. You're just hiring me because of my last name." It's like, sure, it'd be cool. I'd want to know that I earned it, that I deserve it.
That's why I keep telling you, man. Tag James Gunn in your Nightwing training posts.
Trying.
All right, so we got way off topic on that one. Ghostbusters, #1, Dead Man's Chest. I give it a 4 out of 5. Puntastic. Paul Rudd's voice is in there. Love it. You gave it a very positive 3 out of 5. A very respectable.
Very respectable 3 out of 5.
Oh wait,
I would, I'm looking forward to reading the second issue on this one.
I am too.
For the show, it'll be nice.
I am too. Now moving on to this is the Mark Bagley cover. The Spider-Man and Wolverine crossover, Mark Bagley variant. Good old Bags. So this one if you don't know the lore of Spider-Man at all, it does hold your hand a little bit. It does tell you a little bit about Spider-Man's backstory, mainly his parents' backstory. Now, if you don't know that backstory, Richard and Mary Parker were married while undercover Shield agents, right? They would regularly work with a CIA plant by the name Patch. Now, if you know comics, you know Patch was an alias for Wolverine. This is basically a follow-up to all of that lore. Fun fact, Wolverine was actually the very first person to congratulate Mary on her pregnancy with Peter because he could smell it. So, little fun fact right there.
He woke up and smelled the pheromones.
That's basically what happened. And so, yes, it was eventually, Spider-Man and Wolverine have like this tenuous friendship kind of thing.
He doesn't
really refer to it as
Spider-Man might, but
yeah. So anyway, this one, after the dissolving of Shield as dissolving of Shield as a peacekeeping task force, turns out they had in their possession a master list of all of these undercover / double agents.
Yes, it's exactly like that one episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine when Sean Astin's gonna.
No, because this one actually exists.
I'm pretty sure that it existed in the
yes. Well, no. Like they're actually trying to find.
You just didn't have a real threat.
Exactly. Like this one, straight up.
The threat is real.
Anyway, one of Wolverine's contacts it tells him about all of this, and he's trying to get Wolverine to take the job to try to track it down and basically destroy it. Turns out this docket, this packet, has detailed notes, recordings, all kinds of stuff associated with all of these missions. And originally, it doesn't seem like Wolverine's that interested until he comes across two names, Richard and Mary Parker. In which case, he's like, okay, take the mission. And this is part of the solicitation. So this is not really a spoiler right there. Yes. Now, Wolverine has an excuse to go find Peter and try to track down this information. Stuff happens. There's hilarity involved on Spider-Man's end.
Yes.
There's action involved. Kraven and Omega Red, two Russian bad guys.
Yes.
All right, that you would never really see together because I've never really seen Kraven interact with anybody aside from the Sinister Six.
But as he says, he likes to use all the weapons provided.
This is true, and Omega Red is a weapon plus thing, so he is technically a weapon.
Yes.
The artwork, I'm pretty sure it's Kari Andrews on interior artwork.
It felt very like 90s comic.
I'm pretty sure it's the same artist that did the Spider-Man Rain one, except it wasn't dirty.
Yeah, it's
like it was.
It's cleaned up, more polished, less in your face.
Yeah, nothing crazy. So I'm a really big fan of the art style in here. But I'm pretty sure it's still Kari Andrews, and I don't like their art style in
Rain 2.
In Rain 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just me. But this one, fantastic. Plot twists out the wazoo in here, and there is there's a lot of stuff to unpack based on that twist ending, and I am definitely looking forward to issue 2.
Too, especially the way that last page. Oh man, they made him look hulking almost.
Yeah, like
he was.
Yeah, he was not messing around, man. So we're just gonna leave it at that because anything more that we tell you about this is gonna be a spoiler that you don't want to hear.
The only thing I'm gonna say doesn't really have anything to do with the plot. The only thing I'm gonna say is they left his mask on.
So that one was
that they left his mask on.
Well, no, it was him. He did it to himself because of illusions.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, basically, it's like Scarecrow's fear toxin almost.
Okay. But it's still fun. It's fun.
But yeah, it was weird. So yeah, definitely worth picking up. I give Spider-Man and Wolverine #1 a 4 out of 5. Very positive 4 out of 5.
Yes.
Very fun. Very fun.
Yes.
All right. So moving on to the comic of the week.
Yes.
DC Sonic #4.
Yes.
DC Sonic number 4.
Series continues to be beautiful.
It's. I have no idea why this comic works so well. I don't know why it's as awesome as it is. On paper, it's an interesting crossover, but it's just supposed to be that, right? It's just interesting. In execution, it is friggin' amazing. So the comic picks up immediately after issue 3 leaves off, and the Team Sonic, I guess,
the new Justice League,
the Team Sonic escapes their universe because escapes their universe because the Justice League pretty much pushed them into the Justice League's homeworld, and in return, they vow to not leave the world undefended. So they take up each of their counterparts, put on their costumes, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
And
I hope that's what the plushes look like.
Yes. So you have Silver given John's Green Lantern ring, who goes and helps out the Green Lanterns, who's actually pretty good at what he does. So that's pretty cool, seeing him interact with Kilowog and Chip and all that stuff. Amy is defending Washington, D.C. with Supergirl and Hawkgirl, and doing a pretty darn good job at keeping Gorilla Grodd at bay, all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm just going to leave it at that, because I tell you anymore and it's just going to be all spoilery. It is just a fun read. It's a fun comic. It doesn't do anything more. It doesn't try to be any more than what it is. But that in itself makes it pretty amazing. The artwork, great. Dialogue, even better. And the overarching story is just fantastic. The
story is very simple, very classic, but it just goes so well with the way they write the characters and all that, the way they interact with the worlds and everything. It's just, this whole thing is just.
And not only that, but dude, the Sonic portion of this comic is my favorite one. It's my favorite portrayal so far of Sonic, because he doesn't use any external power. He doesn't use the emeralds like everybody thinks that he would. And yeah, it's freaking great. So yeah, I give this one a just an amazing 5 out of 5. I definitely recommend picking up a DC crossover with Sonic number 4. Yeah. Yes. All right. I think that about does it for our reviews for tonight. We went through at a pretty good pace. I think we got everything. I think we hit all the notes.
Roughly, right? We're almost 40 minutes in.
All right. So we're just super excited about this comic. But thank you for watching. Give us a like, follow, share with some friends. And if you like the Ranting with Raven 2 Mad Men, go ahead and give us that like, follow, share with some friends. And we will see you guys next time. Later.